I don't know what's going on. I didn't expect 2 times in the hospital.
Yes, sir.
I had to spend all of Christmas there the whole week, so I just asked for 30 more days. If y'all give it to me to see what I can do.
Okay, we did pass by the, myself and my secretary, we did pass by and we
Yes,
were
ma'am.
able to see that you were able to get some of the, things, the
Couple of
items in
things,
the
yes,
yard
ma'am, but
removed. So
yeah.
we do appreciate that attempt.
Well, I thought I was gonna have it all.
Yes, sir. So that will be, like I said, up to the council, to grant you, some more time.
I understand.
What can we expect at the end of 30 days?
Well, I'm hoping to have the whole front end of the house in the next 30 days done. Now, but I'm working with the VA right now. They're gonna try to give me a new roof, so that should take care of that part of it.
So you're saying the end of the house, so the front end of the yard,
Yes,
the
ma'am.
other end of the yard?
Yes,
We just
ma'am.
want to be clear. On
Well,
what
yes, ma'am. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Because you know what we have to look at really, and I understand the situation, I
Yeah.
really do. But I also have to be concerned with the neighbors on each side.
Well,
Okay.
see.
Now,
Okay.
hear me out.
Okay.
Would you, as a neighbor on the side, want to live on side of that? I know I would.
Sir, I know, but by the same token, I've tried to take care of the neighbors because I do repair work. So I didn't think, anyway, that's beside the point. I'm trying to do the best I can. That's all I can do. That's all I can do. And I understand.
Okay, so can we get a motion to entertain 30 more days?
I don't think you're gonna be able to do it in 30 days. If we're gonna do anything, let's give him the chance of 45 days.
Well,
And then after that, if he have not done what he need to do in that time frame, then we need to go to the next step. Because we have given him plenty of time,
Okay.
to get it together.
And so to your comment, the next step would be actual condemnation. That process starts with, we've talked about this before, inspection report, and then our office sending out formal notices on behalf of the city for a hearing, called a rule to show cause for an actual condemnation hearing. So I say all that to say, for this agenda item, you don't necessarily need to make a motion. It's just because we have not instituted condemnation proceedings against this property owner yet. And so if you want to give him 45 days, that's fine. There's
the
no
cleanup?
formal process that has started. This is more of a courtesy. We're giving you the courtesy. The council seems to want to give you the courtesy of more time to get it cleaned up. And if after that time it isn't cleaned up, then you guys can deputize us, give us the authority to start the condemnation process if that's what you want to do. So for agenda item number 6, you don't need to take any formal action because no condemnation proceeding has started.
So, my question is the cleanup process. So the cleanup process would also be us getting someone out there to bulldoze or clean the yard and to put a lien on it before the condemnation gets?
No, so that would happen as a result of the condemnation
Condemnation, okay.
process, right? So the condemnation process, just an overview, we send the notice, you have to come before the council at this day, at this time, you have to explain why the property is in this state. You as the council would then vote to either condemn and allow time to repair or condemn in order to demolish. If the property owner does not demolish within that time, then the city has the right to go in and clean it up and then lien the property so that you recoup that, whatever costs and expenses it took.
Because he been having plenty enough time. I
Yes.
understand the illness and all that. Okay, you have 40, if we agree to the 45 more days, understand what she just said. We gonna move forward.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I understood it this time. But the good Lord changed my mind. I mean, I can't do what I can't do. All I can do is die. And then,
Well, we don't want you to die.
well, no, I know, but I'm saying, this would all been done if I hadn't had to go to the hospital twice. So, anyway, that's neither here nor there. I appreciate the help, and I'm just gonna do the best I can.
So for the record, is it 45 days?
45, I agree with 45 days.
I say 45.
Mr. Hubble?
It's the paperwork for the VA
I
is
really
gonna take.
don't, because I'm afraid we're gonna be
Yeah, for the
45
roof.
days and then we're gonna be at the same position.
Right.
But we can't, well, I'm being sympathy for him because he.
Well, I am
his
too.
health, but, I mean, I know. We
Well,
know
here's
he's
the
not gonna
thing,
get
and-
it done
and-
within
and
a
what
day.
it-
Maybe 15 extra days might help, I don't know.
So what it is, again, this is a courtesy to the property owner.
Right.
You can contact me tomorrow and say, so I guess to make it clear, what you are informally agreeing to is we're gonna wait 45 days before we reassess
Right.
what the property looks like and what condition it's in to make a decision on if we wanna go forward with the condemnation proceeding or not. And that's completely and totally up to you.
I think we all agree, except you, Bubba.
I'm gonna be on 45 days.
Do you want 30 days or you don't agree with the
I
time?
don't know days.
I don't, let me say this, look, I'm sympathetic to your situation, I really am. Okay, I'm not at the southern end of a northbound horse, I'm really not. But the thing about it is, and myself included, I've let things go in the neighborhood, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna be the first to say that. And the time's gotta stop. It's gotta stop. A property owner, I don't care who you are, or what your condition is, if you need help, that's one thing. I'm all about it. But if you're a property owner, you have a responsibility to keep your property up, regardless of who you are. I have to keep mine up. Fortunately, I'm healthy enough to do it right now. I may not be tomorrow. But I'll have somebody do it. Because no way, the fact of the matter is, that when we let these properties go, the property value plummets with it. The ones on side of it, their property values, if I said, it'd probably be hard pressed to sell somebody a house on side of your house. We know why.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've been up here enough to know that sometimes we, myself included, we forget about people. We forget about how many days we've given them and everything. And I'm guilty of that too. But it's kind of come to, I know that the mayor has kind of really gotten on the cleanup issue, which is great. Because you wouldn't want to go buy a dirty vehicle, would you? You want it clean. So we have to get to the point to where we have to get this stuff done. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
I think because of your health, we ought to give you, we're gonna give you the 45 days, but, moving forward, after 45 days, we'll take actions.
So I totally understand, and all I can do is the best I can do. That's it. No way did I ever figure I was going in the hospital for another week. But somehow or another, my kidney got an infection in it. Now my liver.
You may have to reach out to some of your family members to come here.
Ma'am, I ain't got no help from my family.
We'll agree on the 45 days.
Ms. Lynette, make a note of that so we can keep up with it.
Like a deer in headlights.
Madam Mayor, I'm part of a veteran group, a motorcycle group.
Can you come to the mic, please?
I'm actually a member of a veterans motorcycle group, and we are all about veterans helping veterans. I've already reached out to my brothers and sisters of this group, and I'm waiting to hear back, see if we can get some guys to come help this gentleman. If you're okay with that, sir?
Oh, yes, sir. Well, Mr. Pops is
Yes, sir.
supposed to working with me, so.
Yes, sir. But I'm pretty sure we can get a number of guys out there to help out.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Got you some help. Getting you some help.
Yeah.
I know this is a hell of a job, and so is mine right now. I never in my life would believe that I can't get one family member to even talk to me right now. Out of everything I've done, I was a Boy Scout leader here, a Scoutmaster, Explorer leader, Knights of Columbus, and everything. No help. So,
Let that be your family.
he is, he is.
All right, thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Malonzo. Number 7, consider approving a resolution to support preparation and substantial of an application for funding through the Local Government Assistance Program. Mr. Tony?
Yes, this is an annual program that we talked about at y'all's committee meeting. And essentially, I highly recommend that you always apply for these annually. The LGAP is one that has a lot more, it can cover a lot more different things, whereas the next one that y'all are going to talk about is just water with the CWEF. What we'll do is whatever program, whether it's drainage, whatever y'all want, we'll write it up and submit it. And, generally, as long as the money's allocated it goes through the parish, y'all get somewhere between 30 and 50,000.
Okay, make a motion. Motion by Councilwoman Gordon. Second by Councilman Hubble. Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Thank you. And the same thing, number 8, consider approving a resolution to support preparation and submittal of an application for funding through the Division of Administration, Community Water Enrichment Fund, CWEF. Mr. Tony?
Yes, and this is similar to the LGAP. Generally, you'll get at least something, and typically we try to kind of make the application nebulous enough, because by the time you get awarded it, you may have your priorities may have changed on the water system.
So do you know about how much for that one?
That one is about 52. Now, I'll say both of these programs, if you have a larger project, you can wait and roll them together. Like you can do 2 LGAPs back to back and 2 CWEFs, but the problem is they do have an end date. So if you miss the end date, then you do not get the grant.
Can I get a motion?
Make that motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Gordon, second by Councilwoman Joseph. Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Thank you, Mr. Tony. 9, consider authorizing Mayor Patan to sign a cooperative endeavor agreement with the Save Our Sons organization in support of the 2026 annual Black History Month Parade. Ms. Rose?
Council, we talked about this on last week, and you referred it to the committee that we would go up to $2,000 for Save Our Sons, and this is an annual event, and we're looking forward to the Black History Month.
Make that motion.
I second.
Motion by Councilwoman Gordon, second by Councilwoman Joseph. Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Joseph?
Yes.
Gordon?
Yes.
Hubble?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Payne?
Yes.
Motion passes, Mayor.
10, consider introducing a budget amendment in the 2025-2026 sewer fund to transfer $175,000 for blowers and diverter sludge box for the improvements other than buildings line item in the wastewater department treatment. $25,000 of transfer from the machinery and equipment line item in sewer department collection, and $150,000 of transfer from the sewer system line item in sewer department collection. Mr. Daigle?
Budget amendment or the budget that we adopted in June for the current fiscal year, our expenditures are by department. So we want to transfer $175,000 out of those 2 respective departments from one department within our sewer fund to another department within the sewer fund, so that we can fund immediately 2 of the projects that Mr. Ericall presented as the most pressing needs on that list that he gave last week, which was the blowers. We had already budgeted $200,000 for some blowers already, but the rest of this is going to fund the money that's already there without dipping into our savings. I talked to the superintendent of the wastewater treatment plant today. We had budgeted on the sewer system 400,000 based upon using pumps for our lift stations that we were using at the time we were preparing the budget last year, that he says we're not. So right now on our current budget, we're not expected to expend that entire $400,000 in that line item, which is why we can hopefully, as of right now, transfer without worry 150,000 of that 4,000 that we wanted to spend there. And I don't know if Mr. Ericall's still here, if he wants to reiterate those two projects of the first two.
Yeah, and just to reiterate, obviously, we talked about it. Y'all have 5 blowers and only 2 are operating now. So what we'll do is, obviously, as quickly as possible, put out a project, to replace the blowers and to also do the diverter box. It'll probably have different, levels of things just to make sure we get in the budget. So the last thing we want to do is ask for too much and not be able to get any of it done. We'll make sure that we get at least matching blowers in, and hopefully the diverter box as well.
How many blowers?
I really think you need to, and we'll just put it as because the other ones are working, we'll do 3, and then the 2 is an additive alternate. Ideally, obviously, it'd be all 5, because what you got, these blowers are, like I mentioned, just like a police car, they run 24 hours a day. So they really can't be rebuilt.
Does that include the control panels?
It does, but the numbers I've gotten have been budget numbers, so hopefully when they do, we'll have some better numbers.
Can I get a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Gordon, second by Councilwoman King. Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Roll call, please.
Ms. Joseph?
Yes.
Ms. Gordon?
Yes.
Mr. Hubble?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Ms. Payne?
Yes.
Motion passes, ma'am.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. 11, consider approving the City of Port Allen to accept 2025 ad valorem tax payments without interest if received by January 31st, 2026. After this date, only those payments postmarked by December 31st, 2025 would have interest waived.
The previous administration's policy was that he wanted it in the office by December 31st. Postmark was not accepted. The current administration has allowed postmarks. My understanding now from the post office is that even though someone may have delivered something to the blue box on December 31st, and the post office clerk took the thing in from that blue box, brought it in, they're no longer postmarking on site. Everything from the country is being sent to regional facilities. So I just want to make sure that our constituents, and some of them are paying from out of state, so our tax bills may not have received in time. Our accounting software does not allow the clerks to waive penalty and interest. It's something that I have to go manually do downstairs to authorize. So since we've short on staff, I'm asking as a courtesy, something that we've done in the past, to get formal written adoption that we're going to do the policy to, if it's postmarked, we accept it in January. For those that are postmarked that we get in February, but just like we've done in the past, we would still waive the penalty and interest. In addition, we have some people that use their online bill pay through their bank, Chase, for example, that when Chase sends those payments to us, those envelopes are never postmarked. So I have no idea, and we have no idea when they were actually sent through the mail.
Got a motion, please?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Joseph, second by Councilwoman King. Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Joseph?
Yes.
Ms. Gordon?
Yes.
Mr. Hubble?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Mr. Payne?
Yes.
Motion passes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. 12, consider approving to not charge the new utility deposit fees approved at the November 12, 2025 council meeting. Code of Ordinances, Appendix C, Section 20, Gas, and Section 26, Water, for current customers who transfer service from one address to another address, provided that the customer current balance is zero and has had no more than one late payment in the last 6 months. Mr. Daigle?
From my understanding, in the past, when customers transfer service from one service to another, we have an unwritten policy where we have transferred the service and have not charged a new deposit. If they have a deposit, so the terminology grandfathered in. So that's what we're asking here, is to grandfather in the customers that we currently have that want to transfer, that we don't charge a new service. I know that when I was downstairs, I saw some deposits when I was transferred service, taking in payments 2 or 3 years ago. The deposits way back was $35. We didn't charge the new $75. So what we're asking here is that if they're a customer in good standing, they're up to date on their bills, that we extend that same courtesy, and we just put it in writing, that, and that's to help. We did have that inquiry, and we're trying to address customer system. That's one of the things the auditor says, we need policies in writing. Our ordinance could be construed to that new account somewhere else, they need that new deposit. So we're asking formal written approval, which would be in our minutes, to grandfather in our customers when they want to transfer service from one service, that we do not charge the new deposit fees that we have in place now.
Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
A motion by Councilwoman Joseph, second by Councilwoman King. Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Joseph?
Yes.
Gordon?
Yes.
Mr. Hubble?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Mr. Payne?
Yes.
Motion passes, Mayor.
13, approve government crime policy from Rod Prejean Associates and authorize Mayor Platan to sign the contract. Mr. Daigle?
One of the state agreed upon procedures is that every individual that has access to cash needs to either be bonded or covered by insurance theft policy. This is an insurance theft policy. It is a policy that it covers positions, not individuals. So it gives us flexibility that when we have a person leave, the person that is hired is automatically covered by this policy, so that we don't have a lapse in that policy. Our 3 clerks downstairs in the utility, our customer service office is the one that primarily handles the cash payments, so this policy would cover the 3 clerk positions. And then I'm trying to be proactive. Sometimes 2 clerks aren't here, and Miss Lynette or Miss Carolyn has gone downstairs to take payments, that to cover ourselves, that in emergencies, our secretary to the mayor, the AP clerk, and the HR payroll clerk, who has in the past has handled the petty cash, which is cash, that they're all covered by a crime theft policy. It came in at $100. In comparison, the individual bond policies for an individual clerk is $100 per person, so this is a huge saving for 6 people to be covered underneath this policy for $100 per year. Per year, yes, ma'am. That's what I'm looking at the quote. It says from 113.26 to 113.27. So it's a quote because it is insurance underwriting. So that's why they had to put that date to date. We have not signed the contract yet. When we sign the contract, it will be for whatever date to whatever date.
Motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Gordon, second.
I'll second.
Second by Councilman Payne. Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Joseph?
Yes.
Gordon?
Yes.
Mr. Hubble?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Mr. Payne?
Yes.
Motion passes, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. 14, consider approving the facility automation quote of $9,986 to update our key coding system for the city of Port Allen. This item was considered at the November committee meeting, but was left off the council regular meeting. Ms. Durson?
Yes, Facility Automation, they are the company that gives us with our access cards to certain doors. The software is out of date, so currently we cannot make any cards for any incoming new employees or for any employees that lose their cards. So that's what the quote is for them to come in and overhaul the whole system so that we can now make more cards, because at this point we can't.
Councilwoman Gordon, second by Councilwoman Joseph. Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Joseph?
Yes.
Ms. Gordon?
Yes.
Ms. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Ms. Payne?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. 15, consider approving a quote of $5,500 to J. Terrence Construction LLC for labor and materials for repair work at the Maintenance Department building. So we have a quote that was submitted. They have a lot of damaged sheetrock. It's old. It's molding. It's a lot that needs to be done back there. We have a quote. I think it's in the packets. Yes. If you agree, it just says description: labor and material costs to remove air conditioned grills in the hallway, repair sheetrock, replace the AC grills, and paint the walls and ceilings. Labor and material to remove air conditioned grills, repair sheetrock, paint the ceilings, and replace the air conditioned grills in 4 rooms.
Everybody agree? I'll make a motion to accept that quote.
Okay, it's a motion by Councilwoman Gordon, second.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman King. Anyone from the public wish to be heard on this? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Joseph?
Yes.
Ms. Gordon?
Yes.
Ms. Hubble?
Yes.
King?
Yes.
Payne?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. 16, consider approving the promotion of Officer Rushing Juno to corporal at step grade 113B. Chief?
How y'all doing, Mayor, Council? I gave y'all a little background of Mr. Juno last week. Once again, as y'all seen for yourself, how helpful he is, not only with our police department, he'll go the extra mile to help our citizens out. So, based off everything I told y'all last week, and wish to promote this guy. Y'all have any questions for me or him?
I don't have any questions, but I do appreciate you stepping up to helping, because you didn't have to do that, but I do appreciate that.
He do it all the time, y'all. I promise you. So,
I'll make that motion.
Okay. Motion by Councilwoman Gordon, second by Councilwoman Joseph. Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Joseph?
Yes.
Ms. Gordon?
Yes.
Ms. Hubble?
Yes.
King?
Yes.
Ms. Payne?
Yes.
Motion passes.
thank y'all.
Congratulations.
17, consider approving the hiring of Mayor Patin's recommendation of a candidate as Chief Administrative Officer for the City of Port Allen. We had conducted 2 sets of interviews. We actually did the first one, I think, maybe in November, late October, 1st of November. And I decided to wait until after the holidays. Didn't want to rush. This position is very important to the City of Port Allen, important to myself, someone that I feel that we can trust in the position, that can work with me, the council, and serve the citizens of Port Allen. So we came up, we had another interview Monday this week. We had 2 people that interviewed for that we brought back for second interviews. The first time we had Councilman Payne, which was, on that personnel committee, and then Councilwoman Gordon, this time around on the committee. Both, I think, spoke very highly of this person. I've worked with this person before, and I think he would be good in this position. So we are recommending that the council hire Mr. Philip Mason. He is here tonight. I'm not sure if you have any questions for him, but he is here tonight.
Well, I just want to say one thing on my interview, and y'all know I always ask the people that he's gonna be working with how they feel about it, and I did ask Adrian because I know he's gonna be working close with it, and he was fine with it. He was for it. So I just want to let y'all know that he did do a great interview, and he spoke highly of the job, and he ready to come in and work for the citizens of Port Allen. I did tell him that we do know you have a great sense of humor, but we need that professionalism on this side too. And of course, we gonna need your system human sometimes up in this building. So, if everybody approve, after the vote, we welcome you aboard. Make a motion.
Mr.
Motion.
Phillip,
second
you
it.
would like to have something to say?
Short version.
It feels like deja vu in here a little bit. I'm a hometown boy. I'm from Port Allen. I grew up on 8th Street. I went to Frida Little Friends right here on Chapel Live. I'm a graduate of Port Allen High. I'm a graduate of Southern University. A lot of people don't know my degree is in finance, so I bring a different aspect of this position too. I have a fiscal background, so I will make sure everything is taken care of properly. But I care about my city, so this time around it's about a purpose. I got some things that I want to show these young kids around that they can do it also. I never knew I would be in this position, but as a father of 6 kids, a few of mine's here now. My mom's here, and I know a lot of these people from different walks of life. So I can definitely say this is definitely divine intervention that I'm here right here speaking to you guys. But I do take this seriously, and I would love to have the opportunity to be part of the city of Port Allen again.
Thank you. And motions on the floor by Councilwoman. Motion by Councilwoman Gordon is on the floor. Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Joseph?
Yes.
Ms. Gordon?
Yes.
Mr. Hubble?
No.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Mr. Payne?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, thank you.
Congratulations.
Welcome aboard.
18, consider approving Mayor Potan to advertise and hire a full-time utility clerk. So last week, brought to you one of our utility clerks that is moving upstairs to be Mr. Daigle's assistant. So we are asking that we have grace to advertise for the position to get a third person downstairs.
Make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion by Councilwoman Gordon, second by Councilman Payne. Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Joseph?
Yes.
Ms. Gordon?
Yes.
Mr. Hubble?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Mr. Payne?
Yes.
Motion passes, Mayor.
Thank you. 19, consider approving the contract renewal to Pest Tech LLC for the city of Port Allen. And this is just the annual contract for our pest control that we need approval from the council for me to sign the contract for this year.
What was the amount? You know?
It's in there.
Is it? Is
It's
it?
under, 18.
19? Okay.
2850.
Okay. I'll
That's
make
the
a motion.
yearly. It's $250 a month.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Gordon, second.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman King. Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Joseph?
Yes.
Ms. Gordon?
Yes.
Mr. Hubble?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Payne?
Yes.
Motion passes, Mayor.
20, public hearing to obtain views to approve an ordinance to increase the salaries of elected for the city of Port Allen. The positions include mayor, chief of police, city judge, and city marshal, and appointed municipal clerk. So,
We just voting on to approve the ordinance too. for
it's
the
a public
increase.
hearing, so no one signed in. Okay. And 21, public hearing has been closed. 21, consider approving an ordinance to increase the salaries of elected positions for the city of Port Allen. These positions include mayor, chief of police, city judge, city marshal, and appointed municipal clerk. Ms. Rose?
Ordinance number 1 of 2026, an ordinance of the city of Port Allen revising section 2-1 of article 2 of chapter 2 of the Port Allen Code of Ordinances for the new salaries for elected positions of mayor, chief of police, city judge, city marshal, and appointed position of municipal clerk and related matters.
Any discussion
We got-
council? But what is the, amount? I think
That's what
what's
I'm saying.
They're in here.
Okay, what's on the table is 10%, and so I just wanna make it clear that before a motion is made, that you understand what amount the motion is being considered for.
That's what I was asking.
Right.
Is this the motion for across the board or the percentage for what department we gonna do? 'Cause
I
think they
believe-
didn't say we have to do it on this for each amount, if we're not going straight across the board. That's what he said.
No one.
We may not contact them, but I mean.
Well,
we
no,
have to vote
so it's discussion, my understanding was the proposed, starting point was 10% for all of the listed positions across the board. That's just a starting point, and so I think there just needs to be discussion before any motion is made. You need to know what you're moving on.
Okay, right.
What are you in agreement with the 10% across the board for each of these listed, positions? You wanna go lower, you wanna, like, there just needs to be a consensus on what you're considering before a motion is made.
This ordinance is to increase the salaries. If this one passes, the next one is when does it take effect? And how much of the budget amendment do we want it effective now
So
or the new budget?
Let me pause you. So if the council decides to increase the salaries for these positions for whatever amount, the next, agenda, well, it's gonna have to be tabled because it wasn't advertised, it wasn't, introduced at the December meeting. So we can't, just procedurally, we cannot vote or consider to do any kind of amendments to an ordinance. We first have to introduce it. So regardless of if the council does decide to increase the salaries for whatever amount, the next agenda item, it will have to be tabled either way because we can't vote on any ordinance change. It has to be introduced first, which it was not introduced at the December meeting. So we would have to take care of that. But we're not there yet. We're still on agenda item 21, which is before the council to decide if they are going to increase.
You only have to do the budget amendment if it's gonna adjust the budget beyond 5%, but that does not prevent you from moving forward on the,
Increase.
or on the increase tonight.
Yeah.
So you can still move to approve the draft ordinance that's in your packet. And then, the staff can come back with the amendment, the proposed amendment to amend the budget if that's necessary, if it's gonna throw the budget out by more than 5%.
So tonight we need to discuss how much we will be given.
Right, and as we mentioned at last month's meeting, we drafted it up with the 10% across the board. That's what the mayor instructed to do. So that was the version that you have in your packets. Nobody told me that they were looking at something else, so we have not prepared any other revision to that ordinance. So that's essentially what you have in front of you right now.
So you're saying this is 10% across the board?
Correct. So what you have in front of you is exactly what the ordinance would now go to if you pass the ordinance.
Any suggestion? We've been knowing this, so we need to sit and be quiet. What y'all, how y'all wanna go by? Straight across or 6, 8, 10?
If we got to keep going backwards and forwards.
No, we don't have to, that's what I'm saying, we've
gonna
been
be
had this
time.
in our package, we've been knowing about it, so
Yeah.
we need to come up with a,
If they go,
figure.
if this what they already got it in here,
That don't mean because it's on paper, doesn't mean we have to vote for it on paper.
We gotta go back and redo it all over again, right? You got the amend
No,
it
you
again.
just have to put the price in,
He would have to change the ordinance.
He's got to change the
Yeah.
ordinance.
Just the amount, that's it.
That's if we did 10, 8, and 6.
Yeah,
Right.
right,
Yes.
just paperwork.
But just my thought, I don't think we ought to do 10 across the board. I think it ought to be, we need to decide who we're gonna give 10 to and who we're gonna give 8 to, who we're gonna give 10, whatever. And, that's just my thought.
Okay, we basically know what we're gonna do. So,
What we gonna do?
okay,
They have to know what we gonna do. Okay, since everybody quiet, I think what we were deciding on doing, it was giving the 6% to the judge and the constable and the municipal clerk, and 10% to the chief and the mayor. I think that's what they
You
want.
said 6?
Yeah, and 6 and 10. Is that what y'all say? I want?
Well, that's what we discussed, 10 for the mayor, 10 for the chief. Yeah, and then.
And then 6 for judge, marshal, and clerk?
Yes.
Y'all in agreement with that? Any changes?
Any other discussion?
well, let's go 8 for the municipal clerk.
Ten all the way across.
What'd you say?
Just send it to 10 if you do that. Do it all the way across.
She said, all the way across. Miss Silver, how you feel? What you say?
You can do the 10 like y'all said on the.
We didn't say that, they say that. We didn't come up with that agreement. We just said the 10 for the mayor and the chief. That's what you saying, Mr. Hubbard? Okay. And the 6 for the judges and the, okay. I'll make a motion. For
Wait. So it's, because I know you said 8 for the clerk, but,
No, 6 across for them and 10 for the mayor.
so you're making a
You want
motion?
10 and
Yeah.
10
Okay.
and 6 for everybody else?
Yes.
For,
I think 10 all for everybody all the way across. I mean, we don't know when.
Well, we do know that the judge is not gonna get another check from the parish. So, it's not like that. They're gonna be hurting.
Okay, well, we got, if that's the majority.
I make a motion. Need a second?
so just to be clear, the motion on the floor is 10% increase for mayor and chief of police, and a 6% increase for city judge, city marshal, and appointed municipal clerk.
So it's motion by Councilwoman Gordon,
I second.
second by Councilwoman Joseph. Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Thank you. So 22 and 23 have to now be tabled until next month.
Correct, for the introduction of the ordinance, so that we're correct procedurally. No?
Okay, so we are at 24. Consider approving a resolution to amend the stability portion of the City of Port Allen pay plan to 100 for each full year of continuous full-time service completed on December 1st of each year with a maximum payment not to exceed $2,000 per year. Mr. Daigle?
The mayor has approached me about bonuses. The previous council has talked about bonuses for employees in December. By law, we cannot give bonuses to employees. I know school board can, but they have their own rules and regulations. We as municipalities cannot. It has to, so one of our employees came in asking about the December payment that we paid out, our longevity. That forced me to go into our archives, and that's where y'all got a copy of the resolution that currently pays out from 1962 that was adopted on January 25th, 1962, 64 years ago, that we paid $10 per year for 1 full year of service up to 15 years. So someone who's been here for 3 years, 4 years gets in December an extra $30 or $40, and then after 15 years, it stops at $150. So I put a number down, 100 times 10, that I think maybe, so you all as a council can decide what an appropriate number is. I do not think $10 per year. The reason I came up with 102 is when I put $10 in Google AI and all these other artificial intelligence, what 1962 $10 equals to today's 2026, $107, $108. So, in addition, when we did the longevity payroll for this year for our 70-plus employees, that payroll was just over $2,000. That's how much we paid in longevity. So this is a way to give our employees, without me using the word that we can't give, and it would also then be budgeted when we do the new budget for next year. Now, I went with a flat rate per year. Other municipalities also do a percentage. I prefer a flat rate because when I do the budget, present to you in June, I can tell you exactly how much this employee will make based upon whatever number you say per year as opposed to a percentage, because I cannot tell you definitively that employee X is going to be making that salary amount in December based upon there are promotions, there are transfers, so forth. So I'm asking you.
To that, it is taxed as well, so they don't get the $10. They get $9.89. And I always thought that was pitiful. Even though now we won't get it, we are still looking out for our employees. I think Chief feels the same way. We kind of talked about this before early on. So when Adrian brought the math amounts, trying to make it happen, this is what we came up with. Also, we were looking at, but I think this is better, an employee came to me about time. The parish, you can cash time in. Most of them cash time in at December because they can get extra money for their Christmas shopping. So I brought that to Evan early on, just kind of throwing it out there. We never finished having a discussion about it. A lot of our employees don't have time. So it's not fair to give, and it's on them. So I mean, it's not us, but it's not fair to give some employees. You can say, but it's not fair to give some employees that have time enough to cash to get an extra check and not give all the employees. So my goal is always to look out for all of our employees. So instead of, I think, looking into that, I think they would appreciate this a little better. I think with the parish, you have to have at least 80 hours on the books to cash in 80 hours. You never know, and I tell them that all the time when you're going to need your time to use to be off. So we are working on that, but instead of going that route, I just think this is better. So we are asking that you consider our employees, especially at Christmas time. It is hard for them to, buy gifts or food or whatever the case is for their families. Some of them still don't make a whole lot, so I just think they would appreciate this.
And I looked at it this afternoon, only 5 employees that have been hired 2012 or earlier.
I make that motion.
I'll second it.
Motion by Councilwoman Gordon, second by Councilman Payne. Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Joseph?
Yes.
Mrs. Gordon?
Yes.
Hubble?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Mr. Payne?
Yes.
Motion passes.
25, we need to, kind of reword this a little bit. Some of the language in the, wording of this was kind of incorrect. So it's read, consider approving the city of Port Allen not following section 2 through 150 of the Code of Ordinance, but we're asking the council to ratify, the municipal clerk signing of checks in December 2025 pursuant to municipal clerk's powers under state law, Louisiana Revised Statute 33-4:422. So we're asking, Mr. Daigle, you want to handle it or you want me to continue?
I'll speak. This
Okay.
is just, so, our ordinance, we all know that it requires the, signatures of 2, people on the checks, is the mayor and the, CFO. Our ordinances provide that if the CFO is absent, then we go to the CAO. We know that our CAO position was, vacant, is still vacant, and so, we did some research for the mayor, and under the law, the, city municipal clerk does have the authority to co-sign on checks, and so, I believe Ms. Rose had to sign a couple checks from December 5th to the 17th, and so we just want you to ratify that action, specifically, just to make sure too that we have it recorded in the minutes so we can avoid any audit findings, in the future.
Motion, please.
A motion.
Motion. Okay, motion by Councilwoman King, second by Councilwoman Joseph. Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Joseph?
Yes.
Mrs. Gordon?
Yes.
Mr. Hubble?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Mr. Payne?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. 26, update on progress of resolving 2024-25 audit findings. Mr. Daigle?
With the new audit completed, and we get to turn the page on 1 year's audit findings to the next year. When I first presented the audit findings, it was, I don't know how many pages. As you can see, it's only 1 page that I gave you this time from the base upon the audit. So we've done a tremendous work in improving this. The former findings, I will say the auditors did not do any repeat findings in the financial statements or compliance, even though utilities has been a continuous concern. They saw that we were making some effort toward the end, so they just worded it slightly different so that it would be a new finding, so it wouldn't be a repeat finding of the same issues to help us out with state funding or whatever. Getting repeat findings over the exact same thing could cause us to lose some funding. So they were kind enough, since they saw us making progress, to reword it to be a new finding. So we have no repeat findings, even though we do have the same issues. State agreed upon procedures, or what the state has agreed that we, as policies and procedures, are not necessarily state law. The first one we took care of at the November 12th council meeting, but it was after the fiscal year, so that one's off. The second one we took care of starting in September 10th, and the minutes didn't record us doing budget to actual comparison. They will now reflect that in the minutes. So that state agreed upon procedure has now been rectified as well. The third one, we just voted on to approve that insurance policy, so we can cross that one off the list. So all we have to deal with are the last 2 issues, that new finding, even though it's the same issue with our utilities, and a compliance of not following our ordinance with the cutoff procedure. We have worked, you saw my response to the audit, that's what I wrote in red. We're working on it. I do want to, why the auditors are focusing on those utility accounts. We're cutting off right now starting after January 10th for bills that were due December 26th that covered usage in October. That's why the auditor, December 26 bills were for the October usage. The bills that are due January 26 was for November usage. What our meter readers started reading January 1st right now is for the December usage. When people aren't paying their bills and they had come in the previous months asking for an extension, knowing that they would be moving out 3 days later and not pay the past due, so now we're stuck with 3 bills that they're not paying. That adds up when you have multiple customers. 25, 30 years ago, when you only may have had 10 or 12 that may have been doing that, didn't hurt the finances as much. Now we have several people, as the mayor has mentioned, that cutoff list in the last 6, 8 years has gone from 10, 12 pages to 30, 40 pages until this month. I think when we started, it was down to 16.
Right.
So we are trying to make headways with that. Another thing, data that I pulled, when we did the bills that were due January 26th, when those bills were processed, beginning of January or right after December, I forgot when, with the Christmas holidays, over 25% of our customers are not paying the bills by that 26th. They've come to, I guess, attitude, mentality, the 10th of the month as the due date, or when it's actually the 26th. Trying to change that mentality and trying to explain. And it's also hard in today's society, too, that when you pay everything else, you go to the gas station, you pay for the gas, you haven't used it yet. This is water, utility, whether it's water, sewer, it's something that we've already used. We're not paying for it in advance. That's another trying to get people to understand, and as council members, I ask that y'all explain that to y'all constituents too, that that bill is from 2 months ago that's current, and that's why we need to get a handle on our past due delinquencies. And there is no need to approve these audit findings. It's just for me to present to you that you've got a written one of what we're doing to go forward, and that's what I've done. I provided you the written copy, and it will be reflected in the minutes that you've received what we're doing to take care of the audit findings that they did in this last audit.
Anyone has any questions? 27, consider approving the 2024-25 financial statements audited by Erickson Crentel Certified Public Accountants submitted to Louisiana Legislative Auditors by the December 31st, 2025 deadline. Mr. Daigle?
By law, the auditors are required to upload to the Louisiana Legislative Auditor by December 31st for us to be compliant. They did this. Mr. Tanny Boudet was here last month to give you the draft proposal. He, as I communicated to you and forwarded you the entire audit, that there were no changes to the financial information. What were changes was our response to the audit findings that has to be included as part of that. We didn't have that done by the December 10th meeting. So that the audit does have to be formally approved. So since the audit has been completed, you've received the copy, we're asking for the formal approval of that audit.
Can I get a motion? Motion by Councilwoman Gordon. Second by Councilman Hubble. Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Joseph?
Yes.
Ms. Gordon?
Yes.
Mr. Hubble?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Payne?
Yes.
Motion passes, Mayor.
Thank you. 28, presentation of the monthly financial report summarizing the budget to actual expenditures. Mr. Daigle?
You've received the multiple pages. On the very first page is the overview of the general fund. What were the columns that we look at, or what I look at too, in regards of the budget law of when we need to make budget amendments is the annual budget, what the council approved in in June. The year-to-date actual is what we spent so far, or if it's revenue, what we've earned, what we've collected so far. And then as a reference, that last column, percent of the budget that we've used, 6 months through the year, 50%. So ideally, you would like to see everything at 50%, but realize not everything is going to be at 50%. Some property taxes all come in majority December, January. So right now, our total revenues in the general fund after 1/2 of the year, we've collected 46%. You do that times 2, 92%. We're underneath that 5%. So we are looking at a budget amendment that our revenues are not what we thought it would be, to adjust that in May. We're not going to do incremental, but we don't have to do incremental budget amendments. We can do everything all in May as one huge budget amendment to make sure that we're all underneath the budget law of 5% below on revenues, 5% over on expenditures. If you look at our expenditures for the same general fund, 42%. So we haven't spent what we said we would spend at this time, which is good, but we also haven't collected what we thought we would collect, and the majority of that is from the sales tax. The December sales tax payment was approximately $100,000 less than what we thought it would be. Sales tax revenue is down, and that is a huge part of where we get our revenue. If we go, it's several pages. It's the water and gas fund, our second fund. It's the enterprise fund. Those are not as, what's the word I'm looking for? The general fund is that 5%. The special revenue funds are the 5%. Our water and gas fund is not held to that same standard since it's an enterprise fund. It is still best practices, though, to amend your budget if we're going to amend everything. We've only collected 40% of what we thought that we would be collected right now. We spent 43, but we had a budget to begin with that we were going to spend more money in the water and gas fund that we were going to collect for some capital outlay projects. If we're spending money for one-time things, it is not as a concern as trying to spend money on recurring items over and over that causes you to spend more money. So we knew going in, Mr. Tommy Lejeune, when he presented the budget, did mention that capital outlay did cause our expenses to be more in both the water and gas and sewer fund, but those were supposed to be for one-time expenditures were acceptable. And we have the same situation with the low-income housing fund, which is a special revenue fund. That one is subject to the 5% revenue and expenses. We've spent 60% of what we thought we would spend in the low-income housing fund, but we've also collected 64% more. So even though we've collected more than we spent, which is a good thing, since we budgeted our expenses and we're going over that 5%, a budget amendment is coming. And which simply means that in the low-income housing, we're helping, or I'm not saying we're helping, more people are getting housing assistance through the low-income housing than what we've expected, which has caused more expenses, but at the same time, we're getting more revenue. So any questions? I did try to give y'all this Monday to give y'all some time to look at it. I don't want to spend an exhaustive amount of time. As always, y'all can come into my office and ask specific questions. I know it's a lot of information. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. 29, condemnation proceedings. Casey?
None tonight, Mayor.
Alcohol beverage permits. These were actually due by December 31st. They weren't put on, we didn't have them for the December meeting, but they were paid. They did come in. So I'm asking you to approve these in global. It's Walgreens, Class B liquor, Family Dollar, Class A liquor, Court Street Cafe, Class A liquor, Pick-a-Pack, Class B, Class A, I'm sorry, beer.
Class A liquor. I never known that Family Dollar was selling liquor until I was in Alabama and I saw one of the stores selling liquor and I was so shocked. And the cashier said, and that what created their problems because a lot of people was coming in and stealing the alcohol.
Yes.
So I know they have problems with people stealing now, so I can imagine the chief never gonna be busy with the alcohol.
They've been selling for a while.
Really? I never saw it in there.
I think wine. I'm not sure if they sell like any hard really liquor, but I know they sell wine.
Never see. Well, I guess because I would just go to the household department. Do I make a motion to approve the request?
Motion by Councilwoman Gordon, second. Second by Councilwoman Joseph. Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Roll call, please.
Joseph?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
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 Hey, announcements. Ms. Rose, you have any announcements?
We will have our community prayer breakfast on February 28th. It will be at Conn Elementary School in their auditorium, and we will have other information to come up. We're very excited about it. It will be announcing the entertainment and the speakers in the next few days.
You doing tickets?
Of course, we have to have tickets.
Yes, for the head counts, we will have tickets.
Records that we are doing for the community, and nobody's having a personal reception of them.
We just wanted to get the date mainly put out so people can start planning for it to come. Also, City Hall will be closed Monday in observance of MLK Day. We will be closed. Poplar Grove, I announced that before. Baptist Church will be having their annual Martin Luther King service. It is Poplar Grove Baptist Church on Court Street at 10 a.m. All are invited to attend. Also, Port Allen, which we would have another meeting, but Port Allen is gearing up for the Mardi Gras parade. They've reached out. So the Crew of Oaks will have their Mardi Gras parade, I think February 15th at 1 p.m. And I'm sure they've reached out to Chief for security. That's it. Any other announcements? A motion to adjourn?
I make a motion.
Second.
Motion all night.
Motion by Councilwoman Gordon, second by Councilman Payne. Roll call, please.
What's wrong with Bill tonight?
Yes.
Yes.
Adjourn. Y'all might come up with something else after. I appreciate everyone on the council. Thank y'all for the praise. Whatever was appreciative. Thank y'all down on this end for the